All right, some thoughts on the Springboks against Georgia. I have watched this game now. I'm going to confess, I did not watch the game live because I am in Australia. I watched the Lions game, by which time it was time to go out with my new rugby team that I'm embedded with this week, charity rugby team, the Gorillas, the Hire a Hero Gorillas, and great bunch of lads, and it was important to get that team bonding done. I have caught up with the game now, and I have some thoughts. As you can see, it finished 55 points to 10. And do you know where I want to start? By congratulating Georgia. And I reckon, every Springbok fan would probably say the same. In fact, let me know exactly what your thoughts are in the chat down below. I'm Tim and this is Egg Chasers, and I appreciate your support. Again, just to highlight where I am, I've just come out to a mall. Do they call them malls in Australia? Whatever. I've come out to a little shopping centre. I was just coming for a coffee and a couple of supplies. It was a big night last night. I'm feeling stronger now. Big night. And so, yeah, wasn't the videos I would normally put up on a Saturday. However, trust me, it will be worth it because there's going to be some dynamite stuff coming on the channel soon, which is of my first 24 hours in Australia. It's currently not very nice outside. Weather's really rubbish. I'm in Perth. We had a nice, relaxing day after all the activity last night. But let's get into it then. So, thoughts on this game. Firstly, well done, Georgia. Gave a really good account of themselves. I think they will feel disappointed that they faded away, and were on the wrong end of things in the second half. But they showed enough to show that they can live with teams for periods at this level. And obviously, it's a process, and there's going to be years before they're where they want to be. But they're on a journey, and I think they're doing a really good job. And they gave the Boks some problems. Maul. And at the breakdown, they were ferocious. And they're just hard men. So well done, Georgia. I wish the Six Nations would fold them in. Wish there could be promotion relegation or some sort of system that can incentivise Georgia to invest even more time and money into it. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. They're probably going to end up being squeezed out, but I hope not. And it's great for them that they got to go and play in the backyard of the world champions. And they can come away with their heads held high. For South Africa, mixed bag. I think good on the whole. 55-10 win is good, and they played, oh my goodness me, some of the rugby, big picture thinking here, some of the rugby the Boks are playing is absolutely sublime, like chef's kiss stuff. Scoring tries from 80 metres out on multiple occasions. You do wonder if the Tony Brown impact is starting to bed in. I do think, and I do wonder, is this part of a process for South Africa? Are they playing a little bit more than they normally would? Or that they will in a few weeks' time when it comes to Rugby Championship? Possibly. I definitely think it will be a more pragmatic, traditional Bok performance when they go to New Zealand for that absolutely huge game on the, 6th of September. I mean, the biggest game of 2025. And I would imagine them to play quite a pragmatic test match game, which then leads me on to my next point. The fly half position in South Africa is absolutely fascinating at the minute. You've got three brilliant contenders, all with different skill sets and abilities. It's up for grabs. Who is going to emerge as the Bok 10? I think the answer is probably there isn't one. There's different people to do different jobs for different games at different times, and we will probably see more chopping and changing and picking the right man for the right job, and a combination of who you want on the bench and who you want to start. If there was a World Cup final next weekend, who would you pick? Because I'd pick Andre Pollard every time. Every time. He hasn't, do you know what? This last season, he has not been that great for Leicester Tigers, but there are so many Bok players that seem to play better. Hello, mate. Oh, just been brought a cookie. It's all right, you can come in and say hello if you want. Oh, good lad. Oh, man, I need this. No, I'll save that. I'll save that in a minute. There are... I can't remember where I was now. Yes. No, I can't remember where I was. It was a long night last night. Pollard, I would pick for a World Cup final, 100%. But yeah, that's right, he hasn't been playing for Leicester, and there's a bunch of players that seem to play for the Boks like at an elite level, like best in the world in their position kind of level. but don't bring it at club level. And I don't think that's because they don't care or whatever. I think it's got to have something to do with the coaching, hasn't it? Bringing out the best in players, systems bringing out the best in players. But Sasha Feinbergen-Gomzulu is an absolute baller. Wasn't the best of days for him. He will have others. Marnie Libok was awesome last time out, and he worked really well with Grant Williams. Handré Pollard had a point to prove, came off the bench and proved it. But then again, how much was Handré Pollard playing looking really good in that game against Georgia? Because Georgia were fading. And maybe whoever was coming off the bench was going to look great because South Africa had it their way in the second half. But, I mean, it's a strange situation, isn't it? Handré Pollard coming off the bench and inspiring brilliant attacking play, and Marnie Libok last week nailing his kicks from the touchline. It's like we're living in the upside down at the minute. So it'll be interesting to see who is the main man. You can let me know. You know when like you have to do some gardening. I mean, I don't do a lot of gardening. I don't have green fingers, but like you have to prune the bush from time to time. You have to chop the head off that rose so it grows better next season. I do wonder if we're seeing the point at which Rassie Erasmus will start to prune his rosebush team. Is this the end of the road coming up soon for players like Bongi Mbadambi, for Vincent Koch? I mean, incredible servants, back-to-back Rugby World Cup winners, legends, and they will always be regarded like that. So it feels a bit cruel to even have the conversation while they're still playing. Bongi's arrows weren't good. I don't know. I mean, Bongi in particular, national treasure. So it's a hard conversation to have. But then when you look at the guys that have come through and into the Boks squad in recent months, guys like Ruan Norkia, work rate off the charts. Marnus van der Merwe, he looked good when he came on. And I just wonder if we're seeing a changing of the guard. Edwil van der Merwe, is he going to be the guy? Because he looks great now he's got the chance. Is he going to be the guy that ultimately is going to take that spot from Mapimpi, another legend? So difficult conversation to have about these players, but is it a necessary one? I think it might be. And in terms of players that showed up really well, Grant Williams, weekend special, Kanan Moody. I thought Faf de Klerk was great. Second half was much better, and yeah, I think that performance in the second half. I think there's a lot of times that happens against the Boks. I remember I was at Twickenham. I was watching that game when the Boks beat England, and there's just something about just the pure size and physical threat that South Africa bring that just wears teams out. Having to absorb those tackles, get up off the ground and do it again, it takes it all out of you. So over 80 minutes, you can't stop the dam from bursting at some point. And maybe I'm exaggerating how well the guys that came off the bench did, some of them, because of that. But the bomb squad generally, I would say, has not detonated as well as it normally does, and that might be something that Rassie Erasmus is looking at. But then again, it's hard to read into anything because there's so much chopping and changing going on, which at some point will there need to be more consistent selection as well. Things that could do with some work for South Africa: maul defence. Georgia, on the flip side, positive with a maul. And if Georgia won't be absorbed into the Six Nations, I was thinking this, watching them play South Africa, thinking, I wonder if, with the talk of Wales losing a team, whether Georgia, even their national team being in the URC, or Black Lion, their club team, could they be in the URC? Could that be one solution to getting them more good quality games and giving them the cohesion that means they've showed so much promise? But actually, I just want to start on a positive. Overall, I thought, yeah, Georgia really showed up. The Boks are so much fun to watch. Is this a sign of things to come? At least it means they've got a plan B. I think no South African rugby team, when you go to World Cups, we should ever expect more than brutal physicality, a monstrous scrum and maul game, and very intelligent rugby players kicking for territory. That is what knockout rugby is, always, and it always will be, and it always should be. But when you know you've got the ability to change things up and flip the script, well, I'd say that's a really good place to be. So, thoroughly enjoyed the match. Hope you enjoyed those thoughts. Let me know yours. And again, apologies that it has taken me so long to get this video up. But as you know, there are understandable reasons for it. And the flip side of that is, whilst the video wasn't up immediately after the game, lots of fun content of what I was doing after the game will be coming on the channel very soon. Worth waiting for. Worth hitting subscribe for. I'll see you on the next one.